Welcome to another episode of Chad Sports Talk. You don't know, my name's Chad. Take a dive on sports. And I'm a little late in terms of this type of video because the news already broke out already this past weekend. I'm just getting to it now. So I'll try and kind of digest how to go about this particular video, kind of provide my 2 cents, the half cent that it's actually worth. And this deals with San Diego State. Now, San Diego State has been rumored to be on the Pac-12's expansion list. I myself done a video claiming that San Diego State should be part of this, because it's definitely a program on the rise, especially look at their men's basketball, went to the national championship game in last year's tournament. The football program's done extremely well these past few seasons. And there's definitely and keep it and bring in another California school on top of that, who had built a brand new stadium that could be expanded if it really need to be. So you got all those aspects that everything is pointing towards San Diego State. Now there's a few little kind of details that kind of float out there that look like it was going that direction. And that's when, like I said, the rumor started at San Diego State and SMU, the top candidates. I did the video talking about, hey, if they're going to do that, might as well go up for more, so we get 2 in Texas. I know I got a lot of backlash picking Rice, which has no football power whatsoever. Gets them into Houston, which doesn't really mean much because Rice doesn't have a sizable chunk of the Houston market. But having Dallas and Houston in the pack gives you more opportunities to have more people view your product in the big metro areas. But now San Diego State has kind of thrown everything a curveball, and a lot of things kind of there's a lot of layers to this. As Dave kind of, Shrek stated, it's like onions. Onions have layers. But everyone loves parfaits. Sorry. So, before I dive in this whole mess that is San Diego State, if you could, go hit that thumbs up for me, especially the content provider. Really helps, please, you two guys, really help promote this channel out. You also subscribe. I looked at my analytics. About 90% of you are not subscribed to come viewing here. Doesn't cost you a dime, helps me provide more time value for you. Now, some more backstory to this. San Diego State did request, was about to submitted a letter to the Mountain West, asking for a delay of the June 30th deadline to send a petition, whether or not to withdraw and have a smaller exit fee. Mountain West went, no, that's not going to happen. So June 30th came and went, and San Diego State notified Mountain West, yeah, we're not leaving. We're just playing. We're staying. Because they didn't get any calls from either the PAC or the Big 12, who's also been another conference rumored to try to court San Diego State and actually get the Big 12 to go from coast to coast. I think the Big 12 is going to look at trying to go back up to 14, which Oklahoma and Texas left. When they leave, they probably want to have schools in place when they go up to 14 once again. But it's a topic for a different time. I think I've already covered that one as well. So with that being stated, that they, and I think kind of the reasons why the PAC hasn't really done anything yet, they've yet to get a media rights deal in place yet. They are struggling to find a very a package that meets their needs, especially for schools like Oregon, Washington, and Utah. These are now going to be the big flagship schools for the PAC once USC and UCLA bolt. And they want to make sure they get a decent chunk of the money. Unfortunately, with the PAC, with the schools they have, I mean, nothing against all of them. I mean, Colorado has upside because you got Deion Sanders, brought a lot of eyes to Boulder. A lot more talent comes in there. A lot of talent left. And we'll see what Deion Sanders can do coaching a Power 5 program. Washington State is a good program. Oregon State is a good program. Cal and Stanford kind of go back and forth, but they're more of academic powerhouses in the conference. And you have the Arizona programs that come up and go. And Arizona, U of A, is a basketball blue blood. So there's aspects flowing out there that, they are corner schools. They got AAU members. They're R1 research facilities. I mean, they academically, they're good. Athletically, they're right. And that is part of the problem, is them trying to generate enough buzz from the networks to give them a decent size contract. But no one wants to give them a contract unless they know what the plans are to replace USC, UCLA. So we're in this vicious cycle. So when San Diego State kind of let themselves kind of go, hey, we're here, and the PAC then jump on them, let's know the PAC is trying to focus more on getting the media rights deal done in place, and then have incentives to increase it if certain members get added. So more likely that's what's happening. San Diego State is going to stay in the Mountain West for another year, and then maybe look into after USC, UCLA leave, then pull out and then make the jump over to the PAC if get invited. Right now, looking at like a $33.5 million exit fee to get out of the Mountain West. So them pointing it off for another year, then say they can leave in 2025, which help reduce the amount of exit fee they will have to pay, probably close to 17 mil mark. We'll kind of see how that one kind of happens. But they can also just kind of go, so they could just, look at this, okay, we're going to rip this off like a Band-Aid, just get it over with. They could try to renegotiate with the Mountain West, to try to reduce the exit fee, which is highly unlikely, especially if they want to go into the PAC in 2024 instead of 25. But that's a huge amount of money that San Diego State will have to eat if they want to go into the PAC in 2024. More likely, this is going to be a delay and make the PAC football extremely weak, because now they have no viable options after USC, UCLA depart to make them look like a viable conference. Now, could it go a completely different direction? Absolutely. I mean, they can still go after SMU and probably Rice, or, as one of y'all have put it, UTSA. Get one of those programs, kind of make them move up, get them into Texas, get them to Central Time Zone, trying to get more eyes on the PAC from the Eastern Seaboard. Now, some of the problems back in the olden days where the West Coast teams didn't get a lot of praise, and East Coast because of the time difference, but now because of the internet, 24 hours coverage, you're able to view everything. But I think they want to get back into markets, large television markets, because losing LA is huge. You can never replace that unless you go to New York. And you already got the Phoenix market with Arizona State. You can claim Denver with Colorado, Salt Lake City with Utah. You get Seattle with Washington. You get the Bay with Stanford and Cal. You can claim Portland with the Oregon programs. So I can probably look at other markets, and Dallas and Houston are top 10 media markets. So putting SMU and Rice in there will help out. Like I said, they're not going to draw a lot of eyes to them, because they don't draw a lot of eyes there anyways. It brings in two old school Southwest Conference members that know each other very well. Two schools in Texas. They give them a talent-rich state comes into football. If everyone's been to Texas or is from Texas knows that Texans love their football all the way from the Pee-wees all the way to the pros. So they will go, especially, bring in a good Utah or Oregon or Washington. They have good year, depending if Arizona State or Colorado's having good years. I mean, if talented teams, highly ranked teams come in, I'm sure they will draw the fans. And that kind of leaves the avenues of, okay, what about San Diego State later on? They can probably add them later on if you want to go to 14, like I've mentioned in the previous video, then go after 2 Mountain West programs. Kind of even some things out, like San Diego State, Boise State, San Diego State, UNLV, San Diego State, Fresno State, something along those lines. They could play out as well, but with San Diego State stating that they are state in the Mountain West now, that puts a lot of pressure on the PAC to kind of, come up with a plan to make them more viable when it comes to media contract rights. Right now, it's not looking that good for them. Does this mean it's the end of the PAC, which I think will be a bad idea? I think a more traditionalist would come to college football alignment or college conference alignment, period. A more traditional comes to that aspect. You want your local schools, all kind of grew up in the same area, so you all kind of, have that love-hate relationship between you. I grew up in Big Ten country, so I know all about that one. But you can say that with any conference, really. You say with the old Southwest, SEC, ACC, I mean, you name your conference, they all have that innate ability to look back in their history and look at how the core of the conference was this small group. Now it's gone to this group, and some conferences are now out here. Like what the Big Ten is going to. I'm not a big fan of that one. Not a big fan of how the American is. But like I said, I'm more traditionalist when it comes to college conference realignments or conference alignments, period. I mean, I have a series about the whole 10, 12, 14, even 16. But, this could really affect the PAC coming forward. This could lead to the demise of the PAC. It could lead to the Four Corners going, yeah, this ain't going to work out. We're going to the Big 12. And if they can get a deal that's better than the ACC's, I think that has to be one, and it's not close to the Big 12 money, I think the PAC is done. But the PAC is not going to get Big 12 money. They have some great programs, great schools in there, but they're not going to get Big 12 money. They'd be lucky if they sniff anywhere near it, and that's the sticking point. That's where the PAC wants to be. They want to be on par with the Big 12 in terms of money for the media rights. They want to have clauses in these contracts where they can increase their money once they add new members, which could be another something like the Big Ten's already got in there. So if they want to expand beyond 16, they got clauses in there where they can bump it up, but talks of them expanding beyond that has kind of died off. There's rumblings in ACC right now because they're looking to trying to redo their contract. They've already kind of reshifted the money distribution and kind of keep some of the bigger schools happy. But is that going to alienate the smaller ones? I mean, to recap, San Diego State is not leaving the Mountain West yet. The PAC still doesn't have a media rights deal in place yet. I think the stumbling block for them is money. Networks want them to be at 12 to kind of give them the money they want. They want to get the money now and have the ability to add 12 later. With San Diego State staying, does that mean to go after SMU and Rice now? Who knows? There's so many questions out there, so many different scenarios, so many different roads that this scenario could go through. But once I find anything else, I make sure I get my ugly mug in front of this camera and give you my 2 cents of this whole situation. And like I said, if Dodd on CBS has always on top of this in terms of these college realignment scenarios, so definitely read his articles if you want to look at that. There's a few of them out there to kind of go about this one, but we'll kind of see. But what do you think? Do you think San Diego State will eventually join the PAC, or is the PAC doomed to fail? So mix it up in the comments down below. Be nice and civilized with each other. Once you're down there, make sure you hit that thumbs up once again. Once you hit that subscribe button, make sure you click your bell icon to turn on notifications so next time I put on any more videos on my channel. And I'll see you next time on Chat Sports Talk.